Hello and welcome to this 261 Fearless Empowerment Talk. I'm Juliet McGrattan, your host today. Welcome to 261 Fearless, the global women's running network, using running to unite and empower women all around the world. We're passionate about improving the health and well-being of women, and we really believe that education is key to this. So we use our global platform to bring you this series of empowerment talks, where we speak to high-profile, influential women in positions of leadership in the world of business, sport, health, and more. We learn from them, they motivate us, they inspire us, and we really want to share their wisdom and their expertise with you. Now, today I'm excited because I'm going to be speaking to Michal Golden. Now, Michal is the founder and club director of 261 Club Israel. She studied for an honours master's degree in women's studies, and then she took part in a prestigious programme for leaders and activists in the future at the highly acclaimed Mandel Leadership Institute. Now, I looked up this institute and saw that it has a mission to provide Israel with visionary, educational and social leaders. So you can imagine how excited we were at 261 Fearless when Michal approached us about starting a 261 club. She wanted to start a 261 club to unite women across the different cultures in her home country. So I'm really excited to hear about why she wanted to do this, how she did it, and of course, how it's going over there in Israel. So welcome, Michal.
Welcome. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Oh, it's fantastic to have you. Thank you for joining us all the way from Israel today.
Yes, Binyamina, Israel, yes.
Binyamina, fantastic. I've visited once actually, but my geography is not the best. Michal, I'm just gonna just go straight into the fact that reading out your bio there, you know, it's clear that you're a leader and that others saw your potential as a leader. And I'm wondering, have you always been this way since you were a child? Was leadership always on the cards and part of you, or did something push you in that direction?
Oh, as a child, I always wanted to change the world. This was my dream, but I didn't know how to do it. So I must say that I am an ADHD of course, not diagnosed as a child. And I always had a feeling that someone knows the rule, but I don't. And I didn't know how to fit in, and I didn't know really what to do. So I made my own rule, and I use my voice to change the world. And I don't call myself a leader, but after, as a grown woman, I was doing whatever I need, just, you know, by the book. I was in the university, I have a BA and MA, and I was married and I have children, but I didn't feel fulfilled or happy. It was very disappointed. Mm-hmm. I got everything that I need or supposed to, but I wasn't happy and I didn't understand what's happening. So I decided to change my life and to start a new career. So I got back to the university and start studying women study and gender. And it was mind-blowing because everything I felt as a name, and I got tools and I got language. And now I started to change the world because I always wanted to do it. So I started working in Haifa. It's called HRCC. It's Rape Crisis Center. I was the head of the advocacy, And I was the voice, as I used to do it as a child. I was the voice of the activity and the methods of understanding the society situation. And I applied to Mandel when I was still working in the rape center, and I was I was exhausted. The violence and dealing with violence was very emotional, and I wanted to do something new. I wanted to change the world, but I wanted a happy revolution. So this is my revolution. I want to change the world by playfulness, by running and by doing some good things. So I'm not sure if I'm a leader, but I'm absolutely a feminist, and I love running.
Wonderful. Yeah, no, that's such a good insight into how you got to that part in your life. Was there anyone that you sort of looked up to? You said you didn't fit in, but were there role models that you saw who inspired you?
As a child, I loved to read books, and there's my role model. My role model as a child was Sarah Aronson. Hey, it's a huge story about Jewish woman. She lived in the First World War in Israel, and the Turkish was in the government in Israel. So she was a spy. She actually spied for the British. So she helped the British to free Israel from the Turkish. And it is a very romantic story. She was in love with some hero in the Jewish underground, and in the end of her life, she had killed herself. She made a suicide because she was afraid that the Turkish will catch her. So it is a huge story about women, about love, about freedom. I think people who live in Israel, they have issue with freedom and about identity and about the land. And you can't, it's in our blood, this story. So she is my first role model. As a grown-up, my role model is Hélène Sixto. Do you know Hélène Sixto? No.
No, I don't. Please tell me.
She is an Algerian, and now she is in France, and she is a feminist. She wrote a manifest. It's called The Jellyfish Laughed. And it's about the idea that women must speak. Women must must return to their body and to their voice. She's talking about the body and the voice as an opportunity to reclaim your women's rights. So this is a huge manifest that changed my life. And I think running is the tools that can make women return to their bodies.
Fantastic. And your running journey, have you run since you were a child? When did that start?
No, as a child, I was afraid of running, and I always try to ignore running. And but in the age 44, I heard that some mother in my neighborhood start running. So I was so jealous. that I must try it. So I try, and I registered to a running group. And since then, I'm running. I fell in love in running.
Easily done, easily done.
Yeah.
and how has it helped you? Has it made life easier, or yeah, tell me what impact it's had on you since you started running.
Wow. As I said before, I am an ADHD, so running changed my life. Really, it's a cliche, but it's really life changer, because Matrix, it's the blue pill, because I can open the door, I can go outside, and my head is going back to his place. I can arrange my feeling, I can arrange my thought. It's make me happy, it's make me stronger. And the funniest thing that I am not a faster runner, but I love it so much that I don't care. So I think it's make you it's give you time for yourself, for your it's the only thing that is belong to me. Nobody can take it, nobody is doing it. I doing it by myself, and it's a huge thing for me.
It's really interesting to hear how you say it helps you with your ADHD to organize your thoughts, and yeah, that's very powerful. So I guess you'd seen the benefits and you wanted to share it with other women and change the world.
Yes.
So let's talk about 261 Club Israel.
Okay.
I know that, okay, that your aim was to bring Jewish and Arabic communities together. Am I right?
Yes, I think it's it sounds a huge aim. It's more simple, because living in Israel, this is our life. We are neighbors. We are. I am a Jewish, and the next village near to my house is Jisr al-Zarqa. And as a runner, I love to go running through the fields, and I can run to Jisr. But as close that we are geographically, we are so far away in everything else. It's a huge gap. I can't even describe it. And I just want to live my life with good neighbors. So it's not really my aim, but it's my life. This is how we live. So there's no other opportunity, I want to change my life. I want to feel safe. I want to feel happy. So I do it. Nobody can do it for me. This is it.
Fantastic. I love that. Just want to take some action. And you mentioned that, you're very different to your neighbors. And I know, as you described, clearly there are such cultural differences between the two of you. I mean, what challenges does that bring as a woman living in Israel?
I think everybody wants to feel safe. And here in Israel, we are always a little bit under a war situation. And we live in very tense life. And every woman wants to feel safe and want that her family will be safe. And I think that we are so similar, even though we are so different. So I think the barriers are, I think the barriers are similar to every other country, but because of the barrier in the country, sometimes it's feel that the barrier are going inside the club, but I'm not sure that they are. I'm not sure that they are our issues to solve. I think that if we have a communication, if we have a good time together, if you know your neighbor, you can feel love, and you can connect with him, and you can do different things. So it's a community, and we're part of a community, even though we are so different. And I guess the barrier in the club are the same. Women in Binyamina and women in Jisr afraid to run. And when we are running, we all sweat. And I think the running help us to get to the identity, to the same identity. I am a woman, you are a woman, she is a woman. And I guess this breaks the barrier. Sometimes when the political situation is more complicated, we need to stay away. This is, we live under this situation. We get used to it. It's our daily situation. So I'm not sure this is a barrier for the club. It's a barrier for our life.
Yeah, I really understand what you're saying. So when the women come along to your club, to the meet run, all of that is left behind. All of that is put to one side, and you concentrate on the running and the games and enjoying being together. Would that be right?
Yes, of course. And we are separate clubs, but we are doing some meet run together, and we are doing some activity together. And this, it's a little by little, step by step, we're getting to know each other. And this is the change.
Yeah. And what's your big vision for 261 Club Israel in the future? What
Okay.
Be brave, be fearless. What do you want?
I must say that my vision are a small one. I'm looking at the one lady that got out of her house, that left her children behind for 1 hour in one day. I think this is a huge influence, because I know what happened. I see what happened when women start running, and the small changes are so huge for every lady. Even if she came for the first time and she's only walking, and she can be part of something bigger than her, this is a huge success. So in Israel, everything is going slow, and we have a lot of bureaucracy, and I'm looking one step and another. I can't see the bigger picture. It's too huge. But whenever I'm going outside and talking about the club, I always get a question. So when you will be in Haifa? When will you be in Paradise? When will you be in whatever? So this is the success.
Yeah, absolutely. I really love what you're saying there, that just taking your time, growing slowly, but making a big impact to the women who you do touch and you do reach. So yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, I learned it from running, you know.
Yeah. So you learned it from running?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must be patient if you want to run.
Yeah, do things slowly build up.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and if you want to let the women open up to new sport and to other women, you must take your time, and you must believe in the idea and in yourself and in your coaches. It's a community. It's a community that makes the change. It's not myself.
Yeah. Wise words.
Thank you.
Can you tell me about Coach Hamami? Because I know she's important in this picture.
Yes, of course. Hamami she's a role model, a really role model. She is a soccer player. She is a surfer. She is a coach. She's called herself the lady from the sea. She was a player in the soccer Palestinian team and the Israeli team, and she is very different in the view of Giselle, and people respect her. People knows her in Giselle. In Giselle, ladies are not so much in the they can't, if they have family and their children, they can't do work outside. They have lots of barriers. But Hamami, she is different. She changed the rules. She do a lot of things to help other women, and she is a huge role model, and she's a power to our club.
Fantastic. So really amazing for the women in her community to see her.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Doing things differently.
Yes, she made a difference before we came to GSER. We just joined her. We didn't make her what she is.
Sure. Well, that's very modest. I mean, I guess that's shows the importance of how women themselves can be influential to others and what difference having a good role model makes.
Yes. As you know, if you can't see it, you can do it. And if you can't see it, you can do it. So I think a role model, everyone can be a role model.
Absolutely, definitely.
That's why I love the Mitran, because we are doing them outside. And everybody in the country, in the village, in Jisr and Binyamina, seeing us.
Yeah, powerful, very powerful.
Yes, very powerful, yes.
And you know, from them seeing what you're doing and realizing that two different cultures are coming together, is that having any knock-on effect? Is it opening up new ideas for these communities and cultures to be together?
It was a very difficult year because of some violence issues in Binyamina and Jisr, and this situation sometimes make us go back, and we are going back and forward, trying to building a neighborhood. And I think that if you're going from Binyamina to Jisr, there is a blue bridge that is the way to Jisr. You must go through the bridge. And I think this is a symbol of the relationship between Binyamina and Jisr. And we are trying to build this bridge. Sometimes the Jewish people wants to do some things with GISER people, and sometimes it's came from GISER. So we trying to make this dance happening. I can't put my finger of something. I can't say that we made, we are happy and we are living in peace. I can't say it yet, but hopefully the feeling of everyone is much more safe and much more, I don't know, it's feel more familiar to live together.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. I guess it's all these small steps will add up, And do you think, or how do you think running, or specifically the 261 Club, how do you think that can create change?
I think running as a magic, because you in the moment you put your sport shoes and go outside, something else is happening, and we are starting talking, and we are playing together, and we are laughing together. It's, I don't know, let the running do the magic. There's no word for this.
Yeah, it has to be seen to be, be seen to be believed. Yeah, I have to try it. And just thinking about, your whole experience with 261 Fearless so far, has there been one sort of special 261 Fearless moment, as we call it, where everything's kind of clicked and you've realized, yeah, this was it. This is what I'm meant to do.
Yes, in last year we done the Move the World, remember?
Mm-hmm, yes,
and
yeah.
Yes, and in the end of the Move the World, we did running on the beach in GISER, and there were lots of women from Binyamina and from GISER, and everybody were standing on the bridge, and we took a picture, and it was an awesome moment to see that we are the same, and we are running together, and we are having fun together, and everybody wants to be in the picture. And it was such a small moment, as so daily moment. And this is my, as I told you before, my success is in the simple things.
Yeah.
This is my fearless moment, yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful, and hopefully captured on camera as well.
Yes, of course.
So you can,
yes, of course,
you can treasure it.
Newspaper, yes, yes.
Just a reminder, when things get tough, you go back to that moment to inspire you and motivate you. Oh, well, it's really inspiring. I mean, it's an overused word, but it really honestly is, to hear the work that you're doing over there with the communities and harnessing the transformative power that running has to bring your communities together. So, congratulations on what you've done so far, and thank you for all your hard work. It's been really great to hear more about it and to hear it from yourself as well. So thank you very much for joining us, Michal. Is there anything you want to kind of finish with? Any closing bit of advice or wisdom you've got for somebody watching who's maybe thinking about either starting to run or starting a 261 club themselves? Any passing finishing words for us?
First of all, I want to thank you for this conversation, and I want to say that if you want to change the world, you don't need to do huge things. You can change it first of all to yourself, and then do small things for others. That's it.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Michal. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Can I breathe?